I do want to acknowledge that when we are living according to natural cycles, right? As in, we're aware of the sun rising and setting. We're aware of the rhythms within the day, because you may notice your own rhythms within the day. Say the morning time, you're more sharp. The afternoon, you get a little bit of a lull, and then the evening time, it's more of a winding down, or maybe it's the exact opposite of that for you. Everybody has their own circadian rhythm that their body is operating within the natural rhythms of the sun rising and setting and the moon phases. And then we have all sorts of rhythms within nature. We have the seasons, and then we have larger cycles within that, in the outer nesting dolls of that. So our reality, the way life force energy moves, it's always in cycles. It's not just all of a sudden, ta-da! In some realities this is true, but in the human reality that we're all experiencing together, things take time. Life force has stages. So there's a seed that gets planted. There's a germination time, and then there's a sprouting time, and then there's a growing time, and then there is a budding time and a flowering time, right? And then a harvest time, and then a shriveling time, and then a sleeping time, and then we go through the cycle over and over again. This is that life-death renewal wisdom teaching that's reflected to us over and over again in the mystery school teachings and the mystery teachings of life. No one is exempt from the cycles of life. Every single being, dark and light, okay, what you might call good or evil or hollow or full, whatever those things are, they all have to operate within the patterns of these cycles. So back in the 80s, there were certain ideas of reality that were considered unchangeable, okay? And people may say that was programming, that was this, that was that. But really, on a collective level, we were in the middle of a certain kind of cycle. And the fact is, we couldn't change the fact that we're in the middle of a particular cycle, which means we needed to ride the cycle out. We needed to ride the cycle to its through its ripening into harvesting back into its wintertime. And right now, this time that's so special is that there's many, many cycles coming to a close at once. That's why things are so freaking intense, because there is a massive vying for whose seeds are going to get planted for the new cycles to begin. Now, the Jupiterian cycle has already started. So that's 20 years. And then you have other cycles that are like 200 and something years. And you have cycles that are thousands of years. And you have cycles that are tens of thousands of years, and so on and so forth. So there are many cycles ending at once. And this is really important for us to know, because these cycles, just you knowing that the cycle is at a completion, your opportunity to plant the seed is now. Okay, this is the time to plant the seed. It does not matter what the reality looks like on the outside. It doesn't matter what level of impending doom is being projected, or what kind of Armageddon, or what kind of this, or what kind of that. It doesn't matter. Your seed or seeds are not dependent on those inertias. Okay, your seeds are getting planted deep into the soil, deep into a fertile place where it's going to stay for a while until it's time for the shoots to sprout. Okay, so you are as potent of a seed planter as any of these beings in the powers that be reality. You are. And the fact is, these artificial rhythms keep us on edge, keep us in reaction mode, and then all this disempowerment ideas and worthiness and la 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 la. This keeps us so distracted that we don't actually take the time to consider what kind of seed we want to plant, and then to actually plant it. You know what I mean? So these distraction games have been working for a very long time until now. And the reason is because these cycles are coming to a close, which means the inertia that has kept us held in a particular pattern isn't there. And all we need to do is be aware of that and choose differently. It's that easy. It's easier than it's ever been. Let's say it like that. And one of the major cycles that's coming to a close and is beginning again is pretty much the energy that has founded the United States. You know, our Declaration of Independence, right? This is a really big deal for the US specifically because, you know, the spirit of which this country was founded was on principles, on the idea of inalienable rights, the right to pursue happiness. It was, you know, it was about humans being having the right to pursue the life they want, okay, regardless of religion, race, creed, color, all that stuff, right? So we are coming full circle in a cycle of that, and now we're planting something anew. And this is one of the synchronicities that I am blown away by, and I want to talk about with you guys. I'm curious if you guys see it too. You know, this is what's coming to pass. But let me first dive into a bigger cycle that is ending. And that is this, and this is something that has been talked about by my Indigenous teachers for a long, long time. And they have been dreaming what seeds they are to plant for this cycle, for this new cycle, for generations. They have been dreaming what is the new to replace the old when this cycle ends. And they have beautifully, masterfully laid it out. I'm going to say they've been a great success. And that is the transition from the old human, the Homo-Sapien human, the human that had DNA that was distorted to and designed to worship and glorify, to that was disconnected from their divinity. You know what I mean? That was the Homo sapien, that was a certain kind of way of being. And the seeds that they plant, the literal light codes that they implanted, were the encodements for the Homo Luminous. That is the awakened version of a being in a biosuit that knows their connectedness, that knows they are a part of nature, that are truly embracing their role of being that caretaker of Mother Nature, of this reality. The Homo Luminous participates in dreaming the reality into being. The Homo Luminous knows and respects and lives in such a way that of being in alignment with Mother Nature. They understand that Mother Nature is a technology. Okay, Mother Nature is a technology from which all life benefits. Okay, they have been dreaming these years that, you know, what's going to their part in creation, what that new cycle is going to be for decades and decades and decades.